Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Can you believe it's the third week of August already? Where does the time go? But I'm glad you're spending your August here, listening to the wisdom of the Bible on how you can have a blessed life, how you can be friends with everyone, how you can prosper and live in peace. I am so glad you're here with Pastor Mark of the Clinton Avenue Reformed Church, Bergenfield, New Jersey. While you remember how we always start singing a bit of a song together. So let's do it. I do like that song. I hope you like it also. We'll do a little more of it later. Right now, let's read a little bit of the Bible that will help you have a great, joy filled, peaceful, prosperous life and will help you become friends with everyone. So, here we go. Conflicts and disputes among you. Where do they come from? Do they not come from your cravings that are at war within you? You want something, you don't have it. You covet. You covet something and can't obtain it. So you engage in disputes and conflicts. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly in order to spend what you get on your pleasures. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? We get into conflicts because we always want more. And the first key to happiness is to look around us and look at ourselves and say, we really do have enough. I got a story to tell you about that. There was a little girl who had everything she could need in her house. But a lot of the people she went to school with, they had more money than she did. No, she wasn't poor, but the parents of her friends had jobs that paid more. Their houses were a little bigger. Their cars were a little fancier. They got longer vacations in the summer. And this little girl was very, very angry. And she kept telling her parents, we're poor. We're poor. I don't want to be poor. And her parents kept telling her, we're not poor. We have everything we need. She was always comparing herself and her family to other more richer families. One day, the father decided it's time she compared herself, not to the people with more money, but maybe with the people who didn't have anything at all. Now, her father used to volunteer from time to time at the homeless shelter in town. So he called up the director and he said, would you mind if I came and eat at the homeless shelter tonight? So, seriously, said the director. And the man said, yeah, seriously. Said one other thing. I want my daughter to come and have dinner with me there. You're going to bring your daughter to the homeless shelter? Yes, I want to. Tell you what, I'll pay for my dinner. I'll pay for her dinner. Just let us go in and sit and eat with homeless folks. The director said, "You have got to be out of your mind." The father said, "Maybe I'm out of my mind, but I'd really like to do this. May I do this, please?" "Okay, you don't have to pay for it." No, the father said, "I'm going to pay for it." "How much do you think is fair?" "What, $10 a dinner? I'll give you $20. The director said, "Fine, come on down." So, of course, the girl came home from school and she was, "Oh, Jimmy's got this and Janie's got that, and we're poor, and I'm tired of living poor." Dad said, "To tell you what, why don't you and I just go out and we'll have a nice dinner together? How's that? You and me, and we'll talk about this." Okay. Sometimes they went out to have dinner at a local restaurant, and she was thinking maybe that's what they were doing. But no, they went down to the homeless shelter. They went in the back door, the door where the volunteers go, and he introduced his daughter to the director. And the daughter met all the different people who were working there. And they saw people coming in who were really destitute. Some of them had some mental health problems. Some of them had substance abuse problems. Some of them had both. A lot of them didn't even live in the shelter. A lot of them literally lived in the street. And the father and the daughter sat down together at a table, and she was looking around. This was a very, very strange situation. And a couple homeless people joined them at the dinner table, and they started talking, and the girl was afraid to say anything. That the father had volunteered there enough. He was comfortable with speaking to people without homes. The girl was just looking, and she barely touched her food. Father comes in, "Here, eat some food. It's good." It was a very, very basic meal. Macaroni and cheese, couple vegetables, bread and butter. Wasn't anything too fabulous. And the father said to one woman who had joined him at the table, "Please tell my daughter where you live. What's your house look like?" The woman said, "House? I don't have a house. I live in a backyard behind a vacant house. I used to live in the house, but the county came and boarded it up, so I can't get in. It's a vacant house. I collect cardboard to keep myself warm when the winter comes. Although sometimes when the winter really gets bad, I go to another community that's a little bit warmer down south from us. That's where I live." The daughter was just appalled. She couldn't believe people really live that way. On the way home in the car, the father was trying to talk to the little girl about that. She didn't say a word. She had so much going on in her mind. I'm not saying that forever she never complained that they were poor or didn't have as many things as she'd like, but it was a good long time before she complained. When she got home, she realized, wow, my house isn't so bad. The meals I have, well, they aren't so bad. Having this family, they're sure not perfect, but it sure isn't that bad. See, the words of the Bible. Where does arguing come from? Where does strife come from? It comes from wanting. And why do you want? Everything you need has been provided. I'm going to ask you folks, instead of looking at people who have more and being upset you don't have so much, please look at people who have less. Be grateful for what you have. And if you have enough to share, you try to help someone who really needs help. People without homes, people without enough food, people without enough clothing. When we want and want and want, we make ourselves unhappy. When we celebrate what we have, we feel very, very joyful. That's our Bible wisdom lesson for today. Ready to sing some more with me? I do hope so, because I really like singing this with you. Here we go. Things that hold you, spirit light, take it down. Thank you for singing along. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to our story. Please comment, like, and share this when you see it. I'm delighted you're watching this Biblical Wise Wisdom from Pastor Mark of Clinton Avenue Reformed Church, Bergenfield, New Jersey. God bless you. I will see you next week. Be well.